I have the giggles, I'm sorry. Hi guys, welcome to Flambaé. My name is Yanni. Today we're gonna be making coffee 3 different ways. I will make a mocha, I will make a Greek frappe, and I will make a pour-over drip coffee. We're just going through how I like to drink it in the morning. My routine will totally flip around 360 degrees. 360 degrees is a circle. We're not gonna go too crazy. Just regular old coffee, this is not gourmet. Should we do the thing? Let me pull out the coffee so you can see it. I normally love La Colombe, but I forgot to order it in time. So we're gonna be using this bad boy here. It's pretty decent. It's a fairly acidic coffee, I would say, compared to my chosen La Colombe flavor, which is the Nessa roast, I believe. It's a medium roast, chocolatey, caramely, but this is what we're using today. I highly recommend getting whole beans for your coffee. You can hold them for longer, the flavor stays much more robust and fresh, just all around better to keep. That being said, this is ground coffee. I don't have a coffee grinder. I'm saving up for a really nice one. It's important to have a good coffee grinder because it will create a really consistent grind with your coffee beans. I also want one that makes really fine grounds for espresso, for when I get my espresso machine. So these grounds are gonna be used for both the mocha pot and the drip coffee. I know, it's a big no-no, the grounds are different sizes. Sometimes we don't have time for having 2 different size grounds for our coffee, but you know what? I'm not gonna have to deal with that when I have my own coffee grinder. I like to boil my water first. This is a mocha pot, it's like an OG Italian thing. I think of like old Italian ladies who use this. This is the base, this is where you pour your water, which will be boiling into, flows through here, through this funnel and into the percolator. This is where you put the ground coffee in, it goes through, brews the coffee. This connects here, and there is a filter at the bottom of the top chamber that filters the coffee grounds, and then the brewed coffee shoots up into here. Later you're gonna hear like a sputtering sound. That means that it's done. It's not enough liquid to really pull through, and so it's sputtering. And that's what sputtering is. All right, so that's about to boil. We're gonna fill up the funnel with ground coffee. So with an espresso machine, normally you would use a metal, it looks like like an old school stamper. I fill it up till it's heaping. I take the base and I will just kind of flatten it like that. Because I don't have a stamper tool, but I have this thing. So at the base, there's this little button. It goes through the metal inside. So when you pour the boiling water, you're gonna pour it up until that little button. That's where you stop pouring. All right, this water is boiling. We are gonna take this off. Perfect. Then you go plunk inside. Then you start screwing the top. And then grab, really you should be using an oven mitt. This is so unsafe. You want to tighten it. And then we're going to go back to the stove. And then that should do its thing. So that sound, the sputtering, that's when you know it's done. So if you look on top, the whole chamber is filled. We're taking it off the stove. I like to pour it in a little glass. Oh my God, it's freaking out. So I'm a little baby. I'm gonna do like, I don't know, half a tablespoon of sugar. Stir it in. I'll normally let this rest for about 5 minutes and then I'll toss it in the freezer, just so it's not boiling, like absolutely boiling when I throw it in. I let this chill because I'm a homosexual and we only drink cold coffees. Now we're gonna take a couple of ice cubes. Add this in. The whole thing. Let's not be ridiculous, we need the caffeine today. A touch of vanilla extract. I just want to put a little bit in here, if I can get the bottle open. Truly a drop is all you need. That's it. I don't know if you've ever had too much vanilla extract in anything, but it will be just, it's just gross. I don't know. It almost burns. Well, it's alcohol. Extra creamy oat milk. I love Planet Oat. I like Oatly. I'm just used to having this. I don't know. I feel like with oat milks, you have your brand devotion. Like with an iPhone versus Samsung, this is my iPhone. Just Fill that sucker up. Mix this up because oat milk loves to sit at the bottom. I love the mocha pot. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's not exactly espresso, but it's closer to espresso than anything else. This is a fairly inexpensive way to make lattes for myself at home. Add a little vanilla, and you know what? There you have your gourmet touch. So the second coffee we're gonna be making today is a pour over coffee. I love my drip coffee, and I love it almost as much as I love my Chemex. It makes me feel like a ritzy New Yorker. So inside the Chemex, I have a reusable filter in here. That way I don't have to keep buying, disposable ones. So I'll normally put about 7 heaping tablespoons inside the Chemex. For this amount of coffee, 7 tablespoons, I have essentially filled up this entire pot. This is for days where I'm like, I'm gonna be exhausted, I don't wanna do today. An entire pot of coffee will get me through it. So now the important thing when we're doing this is you wanna pour just a little bit of coffee in, just enough to wet everything. So you can see little bubbles on top. The coffee's releasing gases, it's blooming it. So now the important thing as you move through, after you bloom it for 30 seconds, is you wanna pour this coffee in circles. What this will do is kind of push the grounds to the side, coating the sides of the cone. The vortex just keeps things even. It's really important to have this gooseneck kettle. This really helps you direct the water where you want it to go. So the drip has stopped here. We are going to take this filter, just remove it, dump this stuff, throw it into your compost bin, whatever you do to save the planet. Now, what do we do with this coffee? We throw it in the fridge because nobody likes hot coffee, as I've said. My beautiful Chemex pour over drip. As always, ooh, that's fine. So this recipe is very, very complicated. You have a glass of ice, and then you have your pour over coffee. That's it. We're done. Good quality coffee, just throw it over ice. You don't need anything else with it. Creating that vortex of coffee is so meditative in the morning. Pour over coffee. Today I'm feeling like a bad trademark. So the third coffee we're making today is called a frappe. It is a classic Greek beverage. If you have ever been sitting on a beach in Greece, you will have been served a frappe. It's not only a Greek thing. So I'm like, it's a Greek coffee, it's water soluble, so it's instant coffee. When you mix it with water, it immediately dissolves. You don't have to brew the thing, which is amazing. I'm putting 2 tablespoons of this instant coffee in here. I like mine not too sweet. In Greek, it's called metrio, which is like medium. So I will put half the amount of instant coffee that I added. So about 1 tablespoon. You go over to the sink, you literally just add look at this, a splash. That's it. No more than that is necessary. It's such a little amount, like it's maybe the size of my thumb. You just wanna add enough water to get the things wet. So you can make a frappe in one of 2 ways. You can either use a blender bottle and a blender whisk, or you can use one of these adorable little spinny whisks. Mine has no batteries that are really functioning enough for this project right now. So I'm gonna use this blender bottle, shake it up. I think it gets more frothy anyway, because I have big old muscles and it gets the job done. Ready, go. Make sure this is airtight because it absolutely will explode all over the kitchen. This sound is awful. This whole lining of the bottle has been coated. It is foamy. The color has actually lightened from earlier. We'll keep going, we'll get it a little lighter. Okay, a couple of ice cubes. When I say a couple, I mean fill the glass up. All right, so I poured as much as I could out of this thing. I like to add a splash of milk afterwards. You shake it again. It gets everything that's coated off the sides into your glass, and then it makes sure that even the milk is frothy too. We'll add a little bit more milk just to fill up the rest of the way. Pop in a straw, and we are done. This is so good. It's creamy, it is smooth, it is frothy. It's perfect for Sundays where I am doing nothing at all. I'm feeling funky, I am feeling classic, and I am feeling chill. We have the only 3 personalities I ever have in 3 coffees. Enjoy, have a morning. Thank you for watching. This is Flambaé, my name is Yanni, signing out. It's so scary because it's the first one we're filming.